Apples.
Apple.
Apple.
Apples.
Apples. Apple.
Apple. Apple.
Apple. No, not that Apple. This Apple. The richest company in the world and the golden boy of the tech industry. Between the iconic founder and the legendary startup story, the hipster company named after a fruit has become the poster child of innovation and the American entrepreneurial mindset. And while when most people hear Apple, they think of computers and phones, what if I told you that Apple, at its core, is not a tech company at all? Sure, they may have started out as one, but what if I told you that one small pivot has completely changed Apple's trajectory, ensuring that the company will never die? To do that, we first need to get luxurious. Let me explain. Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Gucci, Rolex. What do they all have in common besides charging ridiculous amounts of money for things you don't need? You guessed it, age. All of these companies are at least a century old, with some going back even further. These companies are so old, the world in which they were founded was a fundamentally different place than the one we live in now. I mean, think about it. The founders of these companies never had the joy of playing Call of Duty or witnessing iPad kids throw a tantrum in a restaurant.
Hey, nobody gives a shit.
But seriously, in a world where business is so cutthroat that the average company lasts no more than 5 to 10 years, how have all of these luxury brands flourished for more than a century? To answer that question, we need to take a look at human psychology. In the book The Four, NYU professor Scott Galloway breaks down the world's top tech companies and their secrets to success. In it, Galloway reveals that the success of every great company comes down to their ability to appeal to some sort of base human instinct. Whether it is Amazon fulfilling our ancestral hunter-gatherer roots, or Google becoming the modern-day god, what all companies have in common is tapping into the most primal and basic human desires. Luxury brands are no different. They tap into one of the strongest and most persistent human desires that everyone who has ever lived on this planet has felt at least once: the desire to be important. Have you ever wondered why luxury brands stay in business when you can just buy just as good of a product for much cheaper? Yeah, well, that's kind of the point. The business of luxury is irrationality. The whole reason brands like Louis Vuitton are so sought after is because it implies that the person who buys Louis Vuitton is so rich and so successful that they can easily live with the irresponsible decision of paying $1,000 for a belt. It signals to others that they are so accomplished they can throw around their money like it's nothing. If you think about it, it's an entrepreneur's dream. Slap your logo on a brick, charge ridiculous amounts for it, and watch hordes of people come in and buy it as a desperate plea for someone to like them. What's better is that, unlike fidget spinners and hoverboards, the desire to be important and of high status is so ingrained in the human psyche that it will never truly die out or be a fad. No matter your gender, ethnicity, age, language, or culture, everyone everywhere wants to be seen as important. Ergo, the unusually long life of luxury brands. Okay, great. Luxury brands have mass appeal and enjoy long lifespans, etc., etc. But what does this have to do with Apple? Well, based on the video so far, and the price of an iPhone these days, I think you know what I'm getting at.
These just plain black. How much are these going for?
17K.
Is that what?
17K.
$17,000. Yeah, y'all boys ready to dip?
Throughout the years, Apple has slowly been positioning themselves not as a tech brand, but as a luxury brand that expresses status not through clothes, but through technology. Think about it. Everything we've said so far about the luxury brands applies to Apple. The extreme global popularity and desire to show everyone you're not an Android peasant? Check. The ridiculous upcharge for a phone that is of similar quality to those a little bit cheaper? Check. The fancy, modern retail stores that attract thousands of people each day, even those who don't plan on buying anything? Check. If you still don't believe me, check out any case study on the company and see what the experts say on Apple's brand strategy. They have become the modern day status symbol. And with that status of being a luxury brand comes the ability to transcend any cultural, generational, and lingual barrier that exists. So don't expect Apple to go anywhere anytime soon. So what did we learn today? Well, if you're worried about the lifespan of your business, switch it to a luxury brand. Also, if you found this case study on Apple interesting, check out the book The Four, which gave us the inspiration for this video and tackles this idea more in depth. Link in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace.